All right, let's get ready because today we are diving deep into some amazing bird research that you sent to us about all the birds in Saudi Arabia.
Right.
Now, I have to admit, when I first saw this, I thought, birds in the desert? Like, isn't it just sand?
You would think so, but
Right.
it's amazing how much diversity there is in those landscapes.
Really?
Saudi Arabia's got these towering mountains,
Oh, wow.
like the Sears. You've got these huge Red Sea coastlines,
Yeah.
and then even unique island chains like the Khorasan Archipelago.
Cool.
Each of these spots
Okay.
attracts a totally different set of birds.
So you're saying we're not just talking about, like,
Yeah.
pigeons that are really good at handling the sun?
Oh, definitely not.
Right.
You got to think about it.
Yeah.
Surviving in a scorching desert,
Mm-hmm.
that takes a whole different set of skills
Right.
than thriving in a cool mountain forest.
Yeah.
We're talking special diets,
All right.
camouflage techniques, even breeding strategies that are tied to the unique challenges of each environment.
Wow. I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
Let's start with one of those tough desert dwellers.
Okay.
What kind of bird can make a life out in that kind of terrain?
Let's talk about the Arabian partridge.
Okay.
This bird is like a master of desert camouflage.
Oh, wow.
Blends right into that rocky landscape.
So it's not just about looking the part, though, right?
Right.
What else helps them survive?
Well, their ability to find food in such a barren environment
Right.
is remarkable.
Okay.
They've evolved to locate seeds and insects
Oh, okay.
hidden beneath the surface.
Oh, wow.
They rely on incredibly sensitive hearing
Okay.
and a knack for detecting like subtle ground vibrations.
So it's almost like they have like little metal detectors to
Exactly.
find their snacks.
That's a great way to put it.
That's incredible.
And not only that,
Okay.
but they're also amazing at conserving water.
Oh, right.
They can pull moisture from their diet
Oh.
and minimize water loss through all these specialized processes.
So they really are like these
Yeah.
little survival machines.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've got our desert expert. What about those mountain specialists?
Well, in a totally different habitat,
Okay.
high up in the Azure Mountains,
Okay.
you'll find the Philby's partridge,
Okay.
named after the explorer, Harry St. John Philby,
Okay.
who spent years
Oh, wow.
documenting the region's wildlife.
I feel like there's a story there.
Well, there is.
Any relation to
Yeah.
Kim Philby by any chance?
Actually, yes.
Oh, wow.
Harry St. John Philby was his father.
Really?
Quite a family legacy.
Wow.
One mapping the region's secrets,
Yeah.
and the other involved in some different kinds of secrets during the Cold War.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
quite a family dinner conversation, I bet.
Yeah, definitely.
But back to the bird, what makes this partridge special?
It's incredibly adapted to that high-altitude environment of the Azure Mountains,
Yeah.
which, are a lot cooler and wetter
Right.
compared to those scorching lowlands.
Okay.
Their plumage provides insulation
Oh, wow.
against the cold mountain air,
Yeah.
and they have strong legs to help them navigate the steep terrain.
So while their desert cousins are dealing with the heat,
Exactly.
these guys are bundled up.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
Quite a contrast.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
speaking of contrasts,
Okay.
let's move from the subtle camouflaged partridges to a bird that's impossible to miss.
Oh, okay. Bring on the color.
The Arabian wheat ear.
The Arabian wheat ear.
Okay, just
Great.
imagine this striking black and white plumage,
Oh.
almost like a tuxedo,
Okay.
set against the backdrop of a desert valley.
I like it.
That's the Arabian wheat ear.
Talk about making a statement.
Right.
Wouldn't that
You would
make
think
them stand out to predators?
you would think so, but
yeah.
it actually works to their advantage.
Okay.
The contrasting black and white
Yeah.
helps them blend in with the dappled sunlight and shadows
Oh, wow.
of the rocky terrain.
So it's like nature's own optical illusion.
Exactly.
So even in a seemingly harsh environment,
Yeah,
evolution finds these creative ways for animals to survive.
absolutely.
That's incredible.
And sometimes
Yeah.
thriving means knowing when to leave.
Okay.
Not all of Saudi Arabia's birds are permanent residents.
You're talking about migratory birds, right?
Exactly.
Saudi Arabia's on that big flyway.
It is right on target.
Yeah.
Saudi Arabia sits on the Afro-Eurasian flyway,
Right.
which means it's a crucial stopover point
Oh, wow.
for millions of birds
Yeah.
making these epic journeys between continents.
So it's like a giant bird rest stop.
Yeah.
What kind of feathered travelers might you see there?
Oh, all kinds.
Okay.
Everything from delicate songbirds
Oh, cool.
to majestic raptors.
Wow.
You might even be lucky enough to catch a glimpse of flocks of greater flamingos.
Flamingos in Saudi Arabia?
Yeah.
That's not an image I would come up with.
It's not the first thing you think of.
Yeah.
But those wetlands and coastal lagoons
Yeah.
offer a rich buffet
Oh, wow.
of shrimp and algae,
Okay.
which is crucial for these long-distance travelers to fuel up.
So not just a rest stop, but also
It's
five-star flamingo buffet.
That's right.
I'm starting to see why these birds are so important.
Yeah.
It's not just about
It's all
an
connected.
individual species, but this
Yeah.
incredible interconnectedness.
Exactly. And that interconnectedness
Yeah.
makes the threats all the more concerning.
Right.
But we'll delve into those challenges
dive in.
in our next chapter of this deep dive.
All right, looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Let's take a quick break and we'll be right back.
Sounds good.
So we've got all these incredible birds adapted to different parts of Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
From the mountains to the deserts.
It's amazing.
Plus we have all those migratory species.
Right.
But I have a feeling this isn't all good news, right?
You're right. It's not. A lot of these birds are facing some serious challenges.
Like what are the biggest threats?
Well, habitat loss is a major one.
Okay.
As human populations grow
Right.
and urban development expands,
Yeah.
natural areas are shrinking,
Right.
and that impacts every aspect of a bird's life.
So like their
Everything.
nesting sites.
Nesting sites, food sources, everything.
I imagine that's especially a problem for migratory birds.
Exactly.
They rely on those specific spots.
Yeah, it's like taking out a rest stop
Right.
on a long road trip.
Exactly.
And it's not just the loss of space,
Right.
it's also the degradation of habitats
Oh, okay.
from pollution.
Pollution.
Well, pesticides and herbicides used in agriculture
Okay.
can contaminate water sources
Right.
and impact insect populations,
Which are
which are a vital food source for birds.
right. So even if the habitat isn't totally gone,
Yeah,
the quality of that habitat
exactly.
can be a problem.
Makes a huge difference. And then, of course, there's climate change,
Oh, right. Yeah.
throwing a wrench into everything.
I imagine with the weather patterns shifting
Absolutely.
and like more droughts and stuff.
It's wreaking havoc.
Yeah.
Birds are so sensitive to those changes.
Yeah.
Their migration patterns,
Right.
breeding cycles, food availability.
Right.
It's all influenced by the climate.
Yeah. That's a grim picture.
Yeah.
But what's being done about it?
Well, the good news is
Okay.
conservation efforts are gaining momentum
Oh, that's good.
in Saudi Arabia.
Okay.
The government has established several protected areas,
Oh, cool.
like the Mahazat as Side Reserve,
Okay.
a huge expanse of land
Wow.
in the central region.
So those reserves sound like
Yeah.
safe havens for these birds.
They are. The Mahazat as Side Reserve
Okay.
is home to a bunch of different birds,
Cool.
including the Arabian bustard,
Oh, right.
which
yeah,
we talked
yes,
about.
Yeah.
So it's not just about protecting a few birds.
Yep.
It's about preserving the whole ecosystem.
Like a domino effect.
Exactly. Everything is connected.
Yeah.
And it's not just about creating these spaces.
Okay.
There's also a lot of focus on research and monitoring
Oh.
to better understand the birds.
Right.
Scientists are tracking migration patterns,
Okay.
studying breeding behavior,
Right.
analyzing the impact of human activities.
So it's like hands-on conservation combined with the research.
Exactly. And a big part of that research
Yeah.
is banding birds.
Ending. Yeah, like bring a little bracelet on their legs.
Yeah. Okay. What's the point of that?
It's really helpful for tracking individual birds.
Oh, okay.
You attach this band
Right.
with a unique number,
Okay.
and you can get data on their movements,
Okay.
lifespan,
Wow.
breeding success.
It's like giving them a passport
It is.
so we can see what they're up to.
That's a great way to put it.
Wow. That's amazing.
And it's not just scientists doing this.
Citizen science programs
Okay.
are becoming really popular,
That's awesome.
getting the people involved.
So our listener could
Absolutely.
help out.
Yeah, they can help out
That's awesome.
with data collection,
right.
monitoring activity.
So it's a win-win.
It is.
People learn about the birds.
Yeah,
They help with the research.
exactly.
That's fantastic. Okay, so we've talked about habitat loss,
Yeah.
pollution, climate change, the
Right.
protected areas,
Uh-huh.
the research.
Yeah.
What about the human element?
Right.
Are there any cultural practices that impact birds?
There's one that comes to mind,
Okay.
falconry.
Oh, right. Yeah.
You mentioned falcons?
Yeah, falconry's been a tradition there
Oh,
for
oh.
centuries.
Okay.
It's an art form,
Yeah.
a sport,
Right.
a testament to the bond between humans and these birds.
Yeah, it sounds really complex,
It is.
requiring a lot of skill.
Falconers spend years
Wow.
training their birds.
Oh,
learning their personalities.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
really understanding their behavior.
I've heard that falconers
Yeah.
form strong bonds.
Oh, absolutely, with their
Right.
birds.
It's built on trust,
Wow.
mutual respect,
Okay.
and years of training.
So it's not about dominance.
No.
It's about...
Working with their instincts.
Right, yeah.
Understanding the bird.
Like a dance almost.
It is a beautiful dance.
Yeah.
And it's not just about the hunting.
Okay.
It also has a spiritual dimension,
Oh, wow.
a connection to nature
Okay.
that runs deep in their culture.
So it's more than just catching prey.
Yeah.
It's about connecting as something bigger.
Exactly.
Okay.
That makes sense.
And that connection goes beyond falconry, too.
Really?
Birds show up in poetry,
Oh, wow.
often symbolizing freedom,
Okay.
grace, beauty.
So even in this harsh landscape,
Yeah.
birds represent something
not really.
delicate.
Yes, and you see that appreciation
Okay.
reflected in their art.
Oh.
You'll find these intricate bird motifs
Oh, cool.
woven into textiles,
Wow.
carved into woodwork,
Okay.
even incorporated into architecture.
So these birds are literally and figuratively
That's a great way to put it.
woven into their culture.
It is, and those connections
Yeah.
highlight the importance of conservation.
Right.
It's not just about biodiversity.
Yeah.
It's about preserving their heritage.
Right. So by protecting these birds,
Yeah.
we're protecting a way of life.
Exactly.
It's amazing how it all ties together.
It is, and that's why it's great to see the
Yeah.
growing awareness of conservation.
Okay.
People are recognizing the value of these creatures.
It sounds like there's hope for the future of these birds.
There is, and I think by understanding
Yeah.
those deep cultural connections,
Right.
we can inspire even greater efforts to protect them.
That's awesome. Well, this has been such a revelation.
It has.
We started with a simple question.
Right.
Birds in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
And look where we are.
It's amazing.
This amazing tapestry of adaptations,
It's a fascinating journey.
challenges, conservation, cultural significance.
Absolutely.
And I hope our listener, with this new knowledge,
Uh-huh.
will see birds with a fresh perspective.
I hope so.
Whether it's a falcon
Yeah.
or a little sparrow,
Right.
they're more than just feathered beings.
Absolutely.
They're symbols of resilience,
Yeah.
adaptation,
Right.
and a connection to nature.
That's shaped human cultures for millennia.
Exactly.
So keep exploring.
Yeah.
Keep learning.
Yeah.
Keep your eyes on the skies.
Exactly. Who knows what you might discover?
You never know.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Thanks for having me.
Until next time, happy birding.
Welcome back. You know, we've explored all these different adaptations of birds in Saudi Arabia,
Yeah.
from the desert to the mountains,
It's pretty amazing.
plus all those migratory species.
Right.
We've also talked about all the challenges that they face and all those conservation efforts.
To protect them. But I
Right.
think there's one more layer to this story,
Okay.
and that is the cultural significance
Yeah.
of birds in the region.
Yeah, that's a fascinating aspect.
Yeah.
It adds a whole other dimension to understanding these creatures.
Totally. And we've touched on falconry a little bit.
Yeah.
But I'd love to learn more
Sure.
about the connection between people and these birds of prey.
Yeah.
You know? It's more than just a sport, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a way of life.
Okay.
It's a tradition
Yeah.
passed down through generations,
Wow.
and it embodies this deep respect
Okay.
for the falcon.
Yeah.
It's intelligence,
Right.
strength,
Right.
hunting prowess.
It's about like a partnership.
It is. It's about understanding,
Yeah.
working with the bird.
I've heard that falconers form these
Oh, yeah.
incredibly strong bonds
Absolutely.
with their birds.
That relationship is built on trust,
Okay.
mutual respect,
Yeah.
and years of training.
So it's not about dominance,
Yeah.
but it's about,
Understanding,
right,
working with their instincts.
almost like a dance.
It is. It's a beautiful dance.
Yeah.
And it goes beyond just the hunting.
Right.
It has this spiritual dimension,
Okay.
this connection to nature
Yeah.
that runs deep in their culture.
So it's more than catching prey.
It is.
It's about connecting with something bigger.
It's about connecting to something much larger.
That's amazing. And that connection goes beyond just falconry.
Yeah, it goes beyond falconry.
Ooh.
Birds are all over their poetry,
Oh, wow.
symbolizing freedom,
Yeah.
grace,
Okay.
beauty.
So even in this harsh landscape,
Even in that harsh landscape.
they represent something.
Exactly.
bigger.
And you see that appreciation
Okay.
reflected in their art as well.
Oh, interesting.
You'll find these intricate bird motifs
Wow.
woven into textiles.
Oh, cool.
You'll find them carved into woodwork.
Okay.
You'll even see them incorporated into architecture.
So they really are, both literally and figuratively,
That's a great way to put it.
woven into their culture.
It is, and those connections
Right.
really highlight the importance of conservation.
Right, because it's not just biodiversity.